Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
How you doing, Sean? Great to be here. All the ice makers right on top of things. And the organizers, of course. Straight out of the sea. This is Lindsay. Lindsay Dubé looking to remove a yellow stone. Second stone throw for Clancy Grandy. Looking for a little inside roll, didn't quite achieve it. And Raphaela is wanting to roll away a little bit, and pretty early in the end to keep those rocks separated and avoiding a double, but they're going to try to roll to the right places. It's going to be a battle of rolls early on here, I think. Raphaela Keiser comes in as the number 10 ranked team on the World Curling Tour, or maybe the World Curling Federation rankings, while Clancy Grandy is 20th, and they've both made tremendous climbs this season with some great results. What's happening out in Saskatchewan these days, John? What's new? Well, that rock was put in a position that may help out the Clancy Grandy. The rink just a little bit, a little deeper, a little shorter would have been more difficult to roll to the right place. Double's even possible, but they'll take a roll to that area. And here's Kayla McMillan. Just a little over the top. Great try. They got this one back in a pretty tough spot. That's a pretty good throw. Keeping that two alive.
Clancy Grandy looking for the hit and roll here, but I think if she tries to roll all the way behind the guard, she'd be far enough back. She'll only be second shot.
I think I'm hearing just about every other cheat except for ours.
Good spot for the Keiser team here in this first end. They've had a risk-free opportunity to try to set up their deuce. All Clancy Grandy can really do here is try to keep the damage to a minimum. I don't even know if you hit that on the nose again, it would be awful flat to try a double even on the last one.
I'm not sure if Clancy Grandy has 6 or 6.5 seconds in her. Maybe we'll find out.
Well, when it does climb up a little bit higher, she may at least be able to try to roll in behind cover and be shot rock.
Yeah. Maybe even roll over close to the top of it. Four-stone thrower, Vitchkoff, I believe.
They were on the brush early. Needs to hold the shooter. Going to roll over towards the guard. That'll actually make the hit and roll a little bit easier. By getting them closer together. Take a look at that overhead. It's still a flat double, but it might be there.
I think
only has to move the second rock about 2 feet to be completely out of the rings.
Yep. Very tight ice. She is going to throw this hard. If I get a clock on it.
I see a team like this, and I always want to just call them a good young team. I don't know how they'd feel about being called a young team. To me, they're all young teams. So, except Sherry Anderson, and she is in the field.
You'll be glad to have heard you say that.
Well, I know Sherry quite well. I've commentated with her a number of times here in Saskatchewan, and if she hears it, I'm sure I'll find out about it. Makes the hit, comes across, nudges that second stone, but not quite able to get it out of the rings.
Oh, that was so close. She threw it 6.8. Really nice throw.
She needed 6.7.
Needed 6.6. Great chance for an opening deuce. A nice clean one.
And they pick up the brush early once again. Just needs the nose hit. She's got a little bit of room she can roll.
Yeah, very nice.
And that's the one you roll buried. Does is pick up the 2 points. She'll take the 2-0 lead into the second. Clancy Grandy will have last rock when we come back.
Had some questions about if our houses are painted or are they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there, and usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logo.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Second end just underway here. First stone being called for. Looks like they called it into the rings. I didn't see the call myself. Sean Joyce and Steve Robert with you from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. A-event qualifying action. There will be another A-qualifier at 8:30 tonight. That'll be the first 2 teams into the playoffs. The remainder of the field will be playing tomorrow to try to grab those last 6 berths.
Sarah Loken looking for the corner guard. I believe that was a call.
Yeah, they're trying to drag it a little further. They might like to get it off that center line a little farther. It just wouldn't curl for them.
Takes away that out-turn draw a little bit there. Out-turn for the righties. I always tell the lefties, hey, I think you got the slippy bit on the wrong foot.
Well, in addition to taking away the draw path, it also allows an opportunity if they can guard shot stone with this rock. They might be able to tuck it a little bit under that, leave an overlap on the guards. This is not going to get over as far as they'd like. That's interesting. Both teams trying to throw the guards that direction, under curled just a little bit. Be something we'll keep our eye on. There could be one side of the sheet perhaps a little bit straighter than the other. That happens.
Have you spent a lot of time curling in Swift Current, John?
I have played a few times in this building. It's the building itself isn't very old, maybe 10, 11 years. I've played in their old building as well, which you could call it a barn, really. But, played both times played in some nice events in both buildings. The current building, and you can't get a true view of it on the camera, but it's an absolutely outstanding facility, multi-purpose facility. The Swift Current Broncos junior hockey team plays out of the building as well.
Sorry, were you saying the Broncos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice chance here. A little bit of air left between that draw attempt and the guard, but they're on the brush right away. Have to get by their own.
They have not.
Just gets the little rub and not able to make contact with the stone in the rings. Well, that swings the advantage the other way in a hurry. Shot stone top of the forefoot now exposed, and a chance to roll behind that longer corner guard.
A little bit early, but almost puts 3 in play. Maybe early to talk about that. Lindsay Dubé. Lindsay is a former teammate of my daughter with the junior team of Emily Deschamps.
Well, both teams had a little bit of trouble getting curl on the guards there. No problem getting finish on that stone. Makes the hit, rolls dead under cover.
Great team shot, great throw, great sweeping call, and tremendous crushing.
So I know from the, and I don't know these Swiss girls very well, but I know based on what we've got on the information in front of us, Raphaela Keiser, who is the skip, actually throws the second stone, so she's in the axe. I don't know who's holding the broom. But there is some communication going from one end to the other just to try to decide which shot they want to play here.
I believe that is Selena Wichon, or Wichon, in the house.
Okay.
Not 100% on that, but we're going to learn together here, Sean.
Yeah, we are. But the issue I was getting at is when the skip's at the far end and you're trying to decide a shot there, you don't usually see that much shouting back and forth with the second, but in this case, the second's actually the skip. And they had to decide what to play. They opted for the hit and roll. It made the shot, but that really just provides an extra guard for shot rock. I would have thought they might have played just either the nose hit, or you could have tried the slash double, but if you nose hit, another nose hit probably puts it out of the rings.
Lindsay is going to go just behind the tee line, preferably. On the opposite side.
Wants this deep so there's no chance to play a double off of it. Would like it to stop in time to be second shot, though.
Second shot.
Little surprised nobody's sweeping it.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, a little nap there for the
a
jet lag nap for the Swiss team. Even though they've been over here for a long time, I think.
If you get that far enough back that it's not second shot, you don't have to play at it. I got a note from our producer, James Gordon, after we were talking about the Broncos. And apparently there is a Broncos game tonight, so the building will be full tonight.
A little bit aggressive here and going hunting for a 3, I think, with this freeze.
How often do you see somebody bring their dog to watch a curling game?
I saw that dog, and he or she looks very cozy.
I wonder if the ticket price is the same.
Okay.
With the hit and stay and that rock being so far to the back, a chance now for the Grandy team to try to use it, maybe set up a third point or part.
Yeah, really trying to
Yes, they were trying the draw. It was just a little heavy.
Yeah. Well, it was a little heavy. And here comes
across the tee line or the hog line at that speed. I thought, well, maybe they were playing a hack waiter at it, but nope, she was just heavy.
I believe this is Elena Mathis. We're at a bit of a disadvantage trying to count rocks or keep track of rocks. Third thrower, Elena Mathis. Or it is, yes, I think that is.
Yeah, I believe this is Mathis. It would help if they wouldn't all wear the same color uniform, too. That's not helping me either. Looking to sit on the corner of the shot stone.
A little
doesn't
warm.
want to rub off, doesn't want to slide by it. Not only will slide by it, but far enough back that it's still Grandy sitting one. The only thing it really takes away is they can't come all the way to that stone at the back of the 12-foot. They won't be second shot rock anymore, but they can get fairly close to it.
Kayla McMillan second. Lindsay Dubé and Sarah Loken are going to work on it. I think they're liking it so far. Just a light clean right now, and they're on and off. They want to level that up, I think. I guess they could be a little deeper. Good. Good shot.
He's in for second shot. Sitting at the top of the 8-foot and a little deeper than the shot rock, so no double available. The hit and roll is an option. Seems to be the option that Keiser's looking at. You have to be a little careful if you ever jam it on that back one and roll over towards the center line. You might leave a double on the two yellows. Could leave you sitting facing three. I think the opinion that was just, and I can't tell the players apart, I'm dealing on a laptop screen here, but the one suggestion was you hit this on the nose. And then she's thinking if you nose and they nose, now we might have a chance to play a double onto shot rock. But the first discussion was about the roll. I'm not sure what they've settled on.
Nose may be, yeah. Those could be a little risky in that it could allow the hit and roll under by Clancy Grandy to bring three back in. But.
Nothing out of the brushers so far. She definitely doesn't want to roll away. That's what she's done, and by rolling away, Clancy doesn't have to play that rock at all. So she'll play one more draw to that open side. Again, can't come all the way to the back one, but she's about 8 inches in front of it. She must probably still second shot. still give the possibility that it could be jammed. This is you're fairly safe to get a deuce here, or a chance for a deuce. And if you can ever leave this rock in a spot where they might jam it for you, three's not out of the question.
They're not touching this one very much.
No, not as close to this one as they were the last one.
Got a lot of rotation.
It's curling nicely now. This might be a little strong if it comes all the way down to that stone, and it did. Not second shot anymore.
Second shot.
Boy, if that stopped 6 inches earlier. Still, when you're down to the skip glass stone here, what can Selena do here with her final stone?
Yep, Selena, Raphaela and Selena have a decision here. Hit that red stone and stay out of 3 for sure, or be a little more aggressive and draw down there, back 4 for the force. Or better. Force or better.
Yeah. It's the draw is really risky.
I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it.
If you don't bury, you leave a double for 3.
I'm whacking the red. You got to be feeling really good about your draw weight to even consider. They may be thinking as well that the tap on the back 8 yellow behind cover is not a complete picnic. So they may be thinking that the risk of 3 is not as great because of that.
Well, but you're not going to have a tap on the, unless she hogs this, you're not going to have a tap on the back. You're either going to have a double.
Right.
Or a straight draw for 1 if you make it really good. What's hard to tell from our camera angle, and that's what they're maybe wondering when they're looking at that. If you came right down to the Yellowstone, who'd be shot rock? And I'm not sure. And if you were going to freeze to your own and you weren't shot rock, well, then why even throw that shot? I think if you froze to your own, you're shot. But it's close.
Pretty close.
And if you leave a gap and you don't bury, it's a double for 3.
Gotta love it. This is the aggressive call. They are not going after that red. They're going after the force or the steel. Galina Vitchak with the last stone for Raphaela Keiser from St. Moritz, Switzerland.
Rushers are close early. They've already switched, so perhaps thinking this needs to curl. We did see a couple of guard attempts here that under-curled, 1 for each team. Boy, if you under-curl here, it's a double, and they back right away because it isn't going to curl enough. So they were hoping to leave as much separation as they could. The double's there for 3. Even if you came up to the nose and hit it right on the beak and missed the back one, you've got 2.
So a hair high, hair on the center line side.
Yeah, I think the only way you get in trouble here is if you hit this a little bit too thin and dead stuff it on the back yellow. It could be a steal in that case.
Clancy Grandy playing out of British Columbia. looking to put up a crooked number.
She gave up 2 in the first end here with her final stone in the second, a chance to get that back and maybe one more as well. Sweepers are close, waiting for a little bit of curl now, trying to help it along. Boy, this is close to the jam.
We talked about. It's like a 1. That's the jam you talked about.
For which team? You were pretty quick to call it 1 red, and I think that is what they settled on. So
these old eyes never fail me.
Grandy gets 1, but it'll be the Keiser team with a 2-1 lead in the last rock when we come back for the third.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Event qualifier action here from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. These two teams playing like they've got dinner reservations. They were 3 rocks into the first end before we came up live. They were 2 rocks into the second end when we came back from commercial. Here's the second stone of the third end.
They may want to be heading next door and watch the Swift Current Broncos taking on the Regina Pats shortly. Storied franchises, both of them. I can't imagine some of the rivalry between Swift Current and Regina. Woo. Swift Current Broncos 1989 Memorial Cup champion.
Sarah Loken through the center guard with her first attempt, now looking to come around it. Choosing to ignore that stone at the back of the 8-foot that was just thrown to the corner.
Very nice. You see the out-turn freeze, I think. Nope, it's going to be the in-turn tap. Possibly tick the guard.
Swiss lead is Marina Lorcher. I figured it was my turn to try to pronounce one of those names. Rushers really working this hard to get by. They're by. Comes down, nudges the stone back.
Great shot.
Not far enough to sit to remove it from the rings, but far enough to sit two.
Clancy Grandy team with some early season tremendous success. I believe they beat Silvana Terranzoni twice in one cash deal in British Columbia. Possibly another win over Terranzoni. They've had a battle with them. I think that, and I could be wrong on this, but 2 weeks ago in Toronto at the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard, I believe Terranzoni in the quarterfinals got some revenge by beating Clancy Grandy in the quarter. Both teams qualified, and Terranzoni won the event. That's my old club, and I was there.
Nice come around there with the little tap back. 5 stones have come to rest now, so a chance for Raphaela Keiser to make a play on that center guard. Up by 1, and this is the odd end. You see a lot of teams very conscious of playing with the odd versus the even end. She's content to just peel that straight out. I wonder if it was an even end, would she have tried to roll to the corner? Still, if she's thinking blank end, she's got some work to do here.
And by the same token, a little aggressive by Clancy Grandy.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Leaving those 2 yellows around with Keiser having last stone here in the third.
Aggressive, but I get it. I like it. You know, you've just seen your opposition walk up and peel the guard. And when they peel straight out like that, you know they're probably thinking blank. So don't make the blank any easier for them. The question is, how many guards are you prepared to throw?
Somebody's going to change gears here.
Somebody's going to blink first. They always do.
Another guard?
Yeah, you had to think if she was going to throw one on the last one, she'd throw at least one more.
Yep.
And maybe 2.
Kayla McMillan, 3rd stones for Clancy Grandy.
See that sweeper closer to the rock, swing around to the other side, so they're looking for some extra curl here.
Well, they guarded the right side. They guarded the correct side of that rock anyway.
Raphaela looking at trying to pick it through the hole between the 2 yellow stones. Very risky. I thought she'd just walk up and peel the guard one more time.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you, Sean. I think that's what they're going to settle on.
And it's never easy to throw a guard on an existing rock. You just saw it. They undercurled a little bit. You peel the guard here, and maybe they overcompensate the next one, trying to throw one more guard and overcurl. If they leave them this much on the other side, it's a much easier stone to remove.
But on the other hand, well, they're throwing guard.
Well, that can be part of the conversation too. When you just talked about trying to pick it, do you maybe talk Clancy Grandy out of trying another guard if she thinks you're willing to chase the next time? And so they are playing the hit. It's a flat double, but they are fairly close together.
Nice controlled heel weight. Looked like a nice throw, but they're working on it.
We were on the brush right out of her hand.
They sure were.
Makes the hit, but actually rolls a couple of inches to the outside. Sits shot third and fourth for the time being. Just one stone, the one that's biting the back of the forefoot, belonging to Keiser. That's second shot. She can't really play the hit on shot stone and roll to the open side, so she'll try to roll towards the rock that was just delivered. Don't think they're even thinking about a double here. This is straight hit and roll all the way. If you happen to catch the one at the back of the rings, so be it. And they've jumped this one right out of her hand as well. Well, you can't afford to overcurl this one, could lose her own at the back. And that's what she's done.
So Clancy will look to punch this one out through the hole, and the forts will be on.
Both teams playing really well, but having just that little bit of trouble finding the exact line on their hit so far in this game. It was Clancy Grandy last end with a chance for three and undercurled on her last attempt and jammed the stone. So, you know, nobody's missing these hits by much, but it's half an inch here, half an inch there. That last one overcurled a bit.
Clancy with a very positive release and a lot of rotation.
We're on the brush on this one all the way too.
And they seem to be right through that. Good throw.
Well, now if you're Raphaela Keiser, the blank's not looking likely. They're talking about playing the hit on the shot stone at the top, roll over towards the one in the corner, and I think the other shot they briefly discussed was to come around. That would be pretty dangerous when that stone's right on the center line. Are they playing a straight draw to the corner? Where she's holding the broom, it almost looks like they might be just playing the draw to freeze to the corner of the stone at the tee line.
I'll tell you in about 3 seconds.
Playing the hit and roll. Had a couple of rocks overcurl. This one's going to undercurl, drives it by everything and rolls to the open side.
Well, she likes the out turn here. She must really like her out turn. You can't float this one. But she'd love to roll right back to the center line and put a little pressure on that last rock draw.
And it will have to be a draw as well. If she just rolls to the center line here, you won't be able to hit this on the nose again and be shot rock.
Right. We're liking her for the roll. Didn't quite get the roll.
Stays right there. It still takes away the out turn draw. She'll have to play it on the in turn, but she does have stone at the back she could probably come down to and be shot rock. We spent so much time in the first couple ends trying to figure out which player was which that I'm trying to think back. Has Selena thrown a draw yet? And you didn't answer quick, so you can't think of one either.
No, I can't. I think she made her 2 in the first end with a hit. So, yeah, great question.
Sweepers are close early. That's usually a good sign. Well, it's not light, and they sure didn't.
It's a good draw. One yellow.
Never in doubt. Stops in time, and that restores the 2-point lead for Keiser. It'll be Grandy with last rock again in the fourth.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy. Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed doubles. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple of extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
YouTube. Okay.
Fourth end underway, the first stone brought into the rings. Sean Joyce with Steve Robert, live from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. There is the corner guard. Now it's the twist team, and I do see a comment on the YouTube feed from one of the viewers that suggests that it is pronounced Keiser. So we were debating that before we went on the air. We've heard it done both ways. So now midway through a game, we get to change the way we're pronouncing it. What I really need is for somebody to tell us how to pronounce Selena's last name. Looking for the guard here. This one's going to slide into the rings.
Now, where did the chat comment come from? That's the question. What authority do they have? Are they from St. Moritz, Switzerland? Then I think that carries a lot of weight.
I have have to admit I don't have the window in front of me. There's too many windows. Once the game starts again, it's back onto the game window. YouTube window's just a little behind. Just a little bit of a technical delay. Looking for the come around here on the corner guard. Russia's really working this one hard. It's going to come up a little bit short. That does work for a second corner.
Lots of rocks in play early in this one. We've got action in the fourth. Everybody's wanting to score in 4.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be going out on too much of a limb to say it's not looking like a blank end.
I see the Swift Current Curling Club has a different kind of scoreboard, not the conventional curling club scoreboard. Or maybe I just couldn't see the end numbers up there.
Raphaela Keiser was looking here for a guard and slides another one into the rings. And the way they're lined up, I'm not sure you can't get all 3 of them and the roll behind the guard.
They might drag right on there. Couple this thing down there and on the boom side.
Little peek in there at some of the other scoreboards as well. Makes the hit.
By Lindsay Dubé.
Moves all 3 of them, but only gets 1 out of the rings. Shooter rolls over, and it is second shot behind cover.
And that is a conventional scoreboard. My mistake. The prop was cut off and I couldn't see all of it.
So looking to run the guard through that shot, or through the shot zone, second shot zone, pardon me. Goes over the top, kills both Reds, and leaves the shooter for center guard. We saw it last end from this Grandy team. They don't mind being aggressive. You could play the hit and roll here. They're opting just straight come around draw.
Pretty sure straight run back. I think I like your call a little bit better, Sean.
Are you basing that just strictly on the call or the fact that they didn't make the draw very well? It slides to the back of the 8-foot.
Yeah.
Not buried either.
I like moving that center guard out of there. It's a problem. It's always going to be a problem for them, even if they made the draw good.
Well, you move the center guard or you play the hit and roll. You could almost have made the double in the roll behind, and then you keep the blank in play at least.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm agreeing. Like I probably would have tended toward dealing with that center guard and maybe getting a roll.
I do think the Redstone at the back stayed for shot rock. They're electing to ignore it, try to come around their own guard. Elena Mathis with the third stones. Comes to the back 4 foot as well, and still not buried, but difficult to remove it past the red at the back. Another chance, however, for, in this case, Kayla McMillan to try to come down and put her own draw in behind cover. Both teams trying that come around and struggling to find the line to get around the guard. Another one that hangs out on them, had a mile of room by the guard. Now it does again. Get a piece in front of that Yellowstone behind it, but there's probably room to get to the inside and roll underneath.
And put a little pressure on too. Yeah. As the end goes on. This Raphaela Keiser team was the 2019 World Junior Bronze medalist. That was in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. I believe that's the home of former World Junior champion Mary Fay.
They've been having trouble getting the draws to curl here. You got to think a hit's going to run fairly straight. Stays just slightly on the outside, jams that stone back. It is the Yellowstone, which is thrown, sits as shot rock. Red at the back of the 4 foot is second. There's a number of yellows hanging around in the 12 foot.
To want to hit about a 3/4 of this and roll to the center. But you can't flirt with.
But yeah, if you go 7/8, you probably clip your own.
So perhaps a conservative half. They're working it hard though.
They picked the brush up right away.
Lindsay Dubé leading on it.
You see the other turn so straight, you got to figure this one's going to curl.
Nice.
Good job by the brushers to hold it. It did roll out into the open between the two guards though, and might have left a double.
You're going to have a look at which turn to play this with.
No mics on the players, even if we did. I'm not sure I speak the right language to know what they're saying. We do have mics on the camera, so you can hear a lot of the background noise, some of the sweep calls out on the ice surface from all of the sheets. Have to say, as we're getting into crunch time here on Thursday afternoon, some of those calls, I dare say, sound a little bit more frantic. There are 4 games out there that are elimination games this afternoon.
I don't know if I think the names are a little more German sounding, so perhaps more German than French on this Swiss team.
So opting for the out turn, picking up the brush right away. She's got to hit the first one fairly thick, but not that thick. She hits it right on the nose, stays right there, jams it on one of her own stones at the back, and spins it far enough that I believe she's still sitting shot third and probably fourth.
Yeah, I believe so.
Shot stone exposed through the port, though. It'll be a chance for Clancy Grandy to play the hit, and she'll probably try to roll behind cover, but which way?
Still a little uncomfortable for Clancy Grandy with Bunch of yellows around.
She does have last rock here. You might be tempted to roll behind the corner guard. The only danger there is that it would leave the hit and roll on the stone at the back of the forefoot to be shot rock.
Yeah, great point there, Sean, about last rock. I got a little backwards there for a minute.
Well, she could roll towards the center too. And that's, I didn't see them indicate which way they wanted to go.
I think that's going to be a double opportunity again.
Yeah, they get caught in between, and I don't know whether, I didn't see them indicate which way they wanted to go, and just the way that went down the sheet, I wonder if they weren't thinking either or, and boy, when you do that, how often do you get caught in between like that?
This is a little bit thin.
It is, and it's debatable whether or not she can hit it that thin with that tight yellow guard.
I think the conservative play might be to hit it a little bit fuller than the double and roll behind the center or in front of the red. But I haven't seen a lot of conservatism out of either of these teams.
Well, you definitely want to hold your shooter here, because if you don't, they've got a hit on it'll be the left-hand side as it comes into view here, the right-hand when they're facing the house. But depending on who's got, right now be fourth shot at the back of the house, it could be for as many as 3 if you roll out here. Makes the hit, comes across, does nudge that stone.
Very easy to go over the top. Yeah.
Well,
the yellow shot.
Is the double there? And if it is, how many is it for?
I think it's for 2.
Well, in order to make the double for 2, you've got to drive the first one a little bit over the face and roll into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, does it clip the one at the back? Maybe you've decided it's not worth the risk. So it looks like they're playing the draw. Clancy Grandy with her final stone here in the fourth end. Needs just a little bit better than full 8 foot to pick up her single. Russians have been cleaning. We'll bring that right into the button area. She will pick up her single point here in the fourth end. Closes the gap to 1 point again. Raphaela Keiser with the lead and last rock when we come back for the 5th.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Welcome back to Curling Stadium's live coverage, available on CBC Gem from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. The first of two A event qualifiers here on Friday. There will be another playoff team determined at the 8:30 draw tonight, Saskatchewan time. 28-team field looking for one of 8 berths in the championship event to begin play Sunday.
Now, Beth Caldwell of the Kingston area has advised pronunciation of Wichanka, corroborated by Mauro Gallardi. Corroborated. Wichanka. I think I heard Vic Rutter saying Wichanka, and I think he's actually a German speaker, a little bit.
A little bit. I do think I've heard him. I don't know that he can speak it as well as he can understand it. I think I have heard him translate a few times at the Worlds.
Mauro Gallardi is cheering for Raphaela Keiser, and where's he checking in from? Are you in Switzerland, Mauro?
We've talked a little bit about the fact that 28-team field here. We've got a Swiss team and a Canadian team playing in this particular matchup, but one of the interesting things that was discussed a little bit yesterday on one of the broadcasts, 28-team field in community of Swift Current, but 13 international teams in this particular event. The scheduling has worked out well in that the international teams, many of them have been here for slams anyway, and taking advantage of the opportunity to play in an event like this in between some of the other events they would have been scheduled for. It's been good exposure for some of these Canadian teams to play against some of the top international teams as well.
And it's got to be a lot of fun for these teams coming over, playing in the slams, but also playing in the early season curling club events. They get that variety of playing in the arena and playing in a curling club and interacting with all those grassroots curling fans in Western Canada, Maritimes and Ontario. It's fantastic. It's a great time of year for touring curlers and for curling fans.
Looking for a little extra curl, would like to get the double here. She's going to move both rocks. Does pop it out from behind cover. And hangs the shooter on for a little bite of the edge of the 12. Last rock here in the fifth end. Keiser wants nothing to do with those center guards, so looking to make a play on those. She's going to ignore the stone on the edge. Now driving it this way, she might be able to catch it. She just makes the single peel. Little thin, drives it over the top of everything else. Just kills the one.
Clancy Grandy going straight around and not dealing with that rock that's slightly behind the tee line.
Continuing to be aggressive.
Mauro Gallardi is checking in from Switzerland.
Had to wait on that a little bit to start to curl. When it does, they don't have the legs to get it in for shot rock. Does bite the 12-foot. Shot rock continues to be that yellow stone in the back of the 4-foot belonging to Team Keiser.
I toured around Switzerland and France this summer, but mainly around the French part of Switzerland near Geneva. A little bit easier for me to survive there. I don't know where Mauro's from, but my daughter was working at CERN in Geneva. So she's a physics nerd with a 6.5 second peel. We didn't have any ice in Geneva though through July and August when she was there. Really nice curling facility there.
Well, there's a bit of a miscue. Looking for the double, slides it right by the stone at the top of the 12-foot and actually removes her own shot stone.
Pressure with an in-turn draw here. Yeah, bit of a hiccup. We haven't seen any spectacular fireworks, but we've seen a lot of good, steady Eddie, good shot curling. That shot there was an exception, a bit of a miscue. And Kayla McMillan is going to look to put some pressure from the third stones.
Nothing out of the brushes earlier. They're staying close. I think they like the weight. They're just waiting for the curl, and there it goes. Brings that stone into the top corner of the button, behind cover. It has barely come to rest, and Raphaela Keiser already has the brush down, looking to peel that center guard.
Really looking to peel two of them.
You know, the way they're lined up, it's almost if you make two of them, you might very well get three.
Elena Mathis.
Got one, catches two, touches a third one, but still might have left it biting. That's a bit of a bad break when you're going to catch a stone like that and still to leave it in play.
Yeah, good shot.
It might be out of the rings. It's tough to say.
I think it's in, but you might be correct. Ron.
Well, we can see white, but of course the camera's over the center. It's not over the rock, so you can't be sure that that's out. Doesn't change the call, whether it's in or out, it's not going to matter. You're throwing the guard here.
Yeah, whether it's in or out could determine whether that's a force.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she left her a piece of that shot stone. We saw a couple of tap backs in this exact same spot in the third end, so we know it'll go.
He's just looking to move that to back 8.
Yeah, that's the way both teams, I think, had a couple of shots at it in the third end, and nobody threw anything more than just back 12 at it. Weren't too worried about getting the rock out. Let's get to the nose. And so they know it can be made. They've seen it done already. Got room by the guard, so they've picked up the sweep from the other side now to try to get a little bit more finish. Get close to the nose. Taps it back about 3 feet.
Very nice shot.
Makes this attempt to get it out a little bit trickier as well, because you get too close to the nose, you could jam it on the back stone. If you try to make sure you pass it over the back stone, you could lose your shooter.
Yeah, from where I sit, I don't see getting under this.
No, I don't think you're trying to get under. You'd love to hang your shooter, I think, in the edge of the 8-foot, full 8-foot, so that
right.
But that's you're flirting with the jam to do that. If you just roll out here, you have to assume that the Swiss team will try to come around and see if they can't score 2. So delicate shot here for Clancy Grandy. Needs to pass this by her own stone at the back.
Here, Loken.
Switched for some curl. Yeah, that over curled a little bit, and they did push it onto their own stone.
Second shot.
And probably has left just enough of that red stone to get to the nose, which would sit too. Again, we don't have mics on the players. It's hard to hear what they're calling for the sweep, but boy, the way they swept that, it looked like they did think they could get to the inside. Because it certainly didn't look like they were sweeping it to go over the top of their own.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that's what Clancy was indicating early on, and I was having a hard time visualizing flopping under, but...
Yeah, because if they had wanted to go over the top of their own, a couple of brush strokes would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
So the opportunity is there. This is still a difficult shot. She's only got just all of that rock available. You hit it. Anything on the high side, it's jamming back there somewhere. And they pick the brush up on this one right away. She's going to make an attempt at it all. She's got to flirt with this guard a little bit. She's by. They're looking for some extra curl now at the end. Makes the hit. Drives it just by the redstone and does sit too. That's a great shot. And now for Clancy Grandy, she can't really make a play on the top shot or the top rock without leaving the back one as shot rock. She's going to try to make the little tap on the back stone, flop over on top of her own. Should be shot rock if she does that, and she'll be behind cover.
Yep, could put the force, could still has a possibility of that force. And taking the hammer into 6, just 2 down. But we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, this is it's not the simplest of rolls. You know, she rolls a foot, she's undercover, and she shot rock. She rolls 18 inches, she's probably second shot, still undercover. But you're rolling to a pretty small, pretty precise area here.
Telling Sarah to go hard on it now.
Now they bring in the second brusher. They're sweeping just to make sure they make contact.
Ooh, very nice. Ooh.
And that quiet weight saves her, because even making that thin contact, I think she stopped in time. It's close.
Might be job done.
Well, that's an outstanding job by the brusher. So she rolls an inch further. I think this is a draw for 2. As it is, they'll play this as a draw, and if the line comes to where you think you can touch that stone, they'll sweep it to try to nudge it.
No, move it about 4 inches, I think. We'll give them their deuce. So I think you're right. Throw it like back 4. Back button, back 4. And see what you can do with it from there. Selena Vichonka with last stone in 5.
Drawing with her final stone, need the bite of the forefoot to pick up the single, and if the line is good, they can try to nudge that back and maybe get 2. Seems to be curling nicely now. The question is she going to have the weight to move it? Well, she had the line, but not going to have the weight to get down to that back stone. So it's 1 for sure. We're going to take a look at those 2 stones. They're going to have a number of people take a look at those 2 stones, and I think they might have called for a measurement here. It is really close.
I'm calling 1 yellow forever.
Well, part of what makes it so tough with a stone like this is that one is at the front of the house and one's at the back. So the one thing I haven't seen the 2 teams do yet, but you see a lot of teams in a situation like this, they'll go look over the pinhole to see if the center hole looks like it's out a little bit one way or the other. And of course, this is always the way it works when you're playing a televised game and you decide that you want a measurement. The measuring stick's always at the other end of the rink.
Pretty big point, though. Well, he's got some miles on those boots.
Boy, it is really close. And I didn't see which way they pointed, so we might have to wait till we come back. Yep. We know that Keiser picked up at least 1. She's going to have the lead. It'll be Grandy with last rock when we come back for the 6th.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown. the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Sixth end underway. Sean Joyce and Steve Robert are here with you on CBC Gem and Curling Stadium on YouTube. Qualifying game here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, live in Swift Current. It was just the single point after the measurement in the fifth end. So Keiser with a 4-2 lead over Clancy Grandy as we begin play here in the sixth. First stone brought into the top of the forefoot. Now the corner guard attempt from Sarah Loken. Steve, the Grandy team has been fairly aggressive all game long now with last rock in the sixth end of an 8-end game. Do we expect to see two corner guards here?
I think so.
Marina Lorchard the lead for the Swiss Forsman, being asked to throw the tight center here. And this isn't really an uncommon call from some of these top competitive teams to get into this situation, and you might wonder why they don't throw the center guard on the first one, but you try to throw that first one into the rings, and then if you get a good stone in what you consider to be a guardable area, you throw the guard in the second one, and if it slides in like that, it's not the end of the world for them. They're going to be playing a little bit more defensively, you would think, this end.
Yeah, that second lead stone for the team without last rock in the lead has become very precise. As a tight guard where you don't want to allow a hit and roll under the corner. Game deep, there's the double corners, and now they'll go for that tight guard again. They don't want to bring it in and allow roll behind the corner if they can avoid that. I think with those two there now, they don't have to be quite as cute with getting it close to the ring, so then maybe they can be a 2.5. I don't know. What do you think, Ron?
I still would be surprised if they wanted it real long. You know, if you're picking the safe miss, so to speak, in is better than long. Now they're kind of caught here. If they sweep this any deeper, it's going to completely overcurl. Had to let it die. It did take away the right side. There's not a play on the rocks in the ring to get behind the corner.
Right. Lindsay Dubé.
Looking to hit this just off the nose and try to run it back on the two in the rings. It's right on the nose. Cleans out all three of the yellows. leaves her shooter as a center guard. So now just those 3 guards belonging to Clancy Grandy in play. Raphaela Keiser will be looking to come around.
Pretty precise shot now with that guard as long as it is. If she's going to show anything, it's going to be on the outturned side. That will be their preference. Stay away from the double corner.
They were on this right out of her hand.
Pretty hard.
She did throw a guard on her first one. It was maybe a little bit longer than they would have liked, and may not have made the adjustment here. It took every scrub they had to get just a full 12-foot. Still mostly in the open.
That red guard is a bit of a problem right now. They're getting around those corners.
Yeah, I thought she might look at the run back here again.
Yeah, just to allow that draw later.
Well, and even if you don't make the run back, is this yellow rock really hurting you if the center guard's gone?
Right, exactly. Agreed.
Gets that last little spin in towards the ring, so it is
That's
sitting
a bonus.
shot rock.
That's a good bonus. That's a good shot.
Well, that's the kind of stone that could end up on the scoreboard as your second point. If Keiser was wanting to make a play on that stone, it almost doesn't matter what you do with it. Clancy Grandy's going to come around, so you have to come around first. That means ignoring a stone that could end up on the scoreboard later. Sweepers jumped this one early, and already she swung around to look for a little extra curl, so this has got to be on the light side. Boy, I don't know, you saw both sweepers down early and they end up with it behind the tee line, maybe a little bit over panicked on the sweep there.
Behind the tee line, and it may be even a little bit accessible from the intern side where the guards are as well. Carving all the way to get it to curl over there, and
yeah,
maybe into the wrong spot.
Well, when they were both sweeping it so early, you had to think they thought maybe it was a little bit light. If you knew it had that kind of weight, you could have waited a little bit for it to start to curl on its own. That's one of the things with that carving a rock over. It always helps if it can get past the break point before you start doing that.
I think they can afford to play this a little bit as tight as they, need to.
If you clip the guard, it's not the end of the world.
Clip the guard, you could even, not likely, but possibly roll something else in. Imagine this is kind of a back waiter.
One brush down early, trying to hold the line.
Yeah, Lindsay Dubé on a pretty. She's hesitated for a second and might be tremendous shot. And let's see where this roll goes. No roll. Right to the and then a roll behind the corners.
I think they left it in the opening. It is a reverse stagger court because I don't really think she can play the intern through there. Just Going to have to play the out turn through the reverse stagger.
And with a bit of weight, which is going to make the...
Yeah, you have to. There's no way to make that.
It's going to make the roll tough.
The first indication from Raphaela was to probably have to roll behind the corner. It's tough when you're curling through that port to keep it on the broom side. Boy, that broom indicates she's maybe playing this quieter than you might think.
With that reverse dagger.
Yeah, when you looked at it from the overhead, there's quite a distance.
Should put that out there a little bit, floated it, I think.
This is going to be all over the long guard.
Maybe in the rings. No, maybe through the rings.
Almost got the bonus, but the downside, her shooter rolls into the side of the red corner guard and leaves shot rock buried now.
Clancy Grandy's eyes just lit up a little bit.
She's thinking 3 now.
Taylor McMillan second. You're waiting for that to curl. Grab some curl and slow down.
A lot of room by the guards. Sweeping for a little extra curl now. Needs to get a good piece behind cover at least. It's going to come down to her own stone and nudges off just a little bit. Has probably left the double. The other option, you could just play the hit on that and try to roll in front of the other red stone.
Yeah. Ouch.
You play the double, you're going to leave a hit and roll back, and that would be good enough to get 2. The first indication was the double. Not a lock if you're playing the double that you can even hold your shooter. I'm not sure that matters. You play the double. Let Clancy Grandy make the come around. If she makes it well, you just go over and hit that little biter and concede the 2. You're tied up playing 7. If you play for the little flop on top of the red and happen to just get the nose hit and don't get the back one, 3 is still on the board, still in play. But if you make the hit and flop, could be a force.
Yeah, it is an interesting end. Lots of possible outcomes. Selena Vichchanka with her first.
I'm thinking hand on the shoulder means there's some weight coming here, so this is a double attempt. She looked at it for a long time. Clips it maybe a little on the thin side, and it will spin towards the back, but hangs on the back of the 12-foot. Clancy Grandy sitting 2, a chance to come around, and still has a chance for 3 here.
Sure does.
Put you on the spot here, Steve. If she makes this come around, and you're the Keiser team, do you draw?
I don't think so. I was actually just thinking about the same question.
You're going to give her 3?
I think so.
Because you could, if she makes this draw, you could follow it down to sit on the corner of it. And,
yeah, maybe you're right.
If you make that, she's going to have a draw for 2, assuming this is in front of the tee line. But
maybe convincing me, Sean. Going down 1 after 6 is not the greatest.
Well, and there have been the struggles that both teams have had. Really, have been finding the draw or the line on the hits. The draws have been much better, and now with this sliding behind the tee line, that might make it a little easier, because you freeze to it now, you might even steal.
Oof. Yeah, I think there's no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you bring that rock in front of the tee line by that much, now if you're freezing to it, you're not going to be shot rock, and it's a draw for 2. And you'd have to make that decision. Do you want to play that freeze, knowing that the best you're going to do is get out the tie game, and it could be 4 if things go terribly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we're talking about a chance to perhaps even steal,
yep.
Because really, you hit either of the open 2 stones, and it's 3 anyway.
Might have been not given enough ice, or a little bit narrow on the slide or the release, because the brushers had to get on that to get it by the guard. So they didn't really have much control over. The brushers didn't have much control over the distance.
No, had to get it by.
Or maybe they would have been better off not to get it by.
Well, there is that.
Roll in by 3.
3 in the open might have been better than shot rock behind the tee line behind cover.
But we'll let you know in about 15 seconds.
We've got 1 brusher on for line early now. They've backed away. She's got room by the guards.
Looks pretty tasty.
Now sweeping at the end for a little bit extra curl.
A bit of a...
Comes sitting right down on the corner. That is a great shot.
That's a great shot. And
Clancy Grandy looking for anything she could try to run in, and I don't think there's anything there.
Nothing there. You got to take your medicine.
Psychologically, this is a big swing from throwing her first shot, hoping to perhaps set up 3, to now having to get full forefoot with her last to pick up the single.
And that might be a debrief discussion. Easy with all this hindsight now, Sean, but a great discussion point after may have been, if that weight was communicated to be back 8, would they have been better off rubbing than ending up back there? Good answer by Clancy Grandy. With a nice
Very nice regroup for her. Puts it right on the button. Does get her single point. A little bit of a missed opportunity, but again, closes within a single point after 6 ends of play. It'll be Keiser with last rock in 7.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel, because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed doubles. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, This is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Clancy Grandy with a single point in the 6th end. Trailing by 1 here as we begin play in the 7th. Asks for the center guard. That's the zone you just see coming to rest on the center line. And Raphaela Keiser now asking lead Marina Lorcher to come around that.
And I think Keiser will be working hard for the blank. Deuce if it's available. Probably the end plan is the blank if they can get it. And Clancy Grandy is equally going to be working hard for the force.
Steve, we haven't had a chance to work a game together yet, but the viewers in Saskatchewan have probably heard me say this before. Whenever you've got a team that's looking to force, if you're the team with last rock, you have to be aware that at some point in time they may give you a chance that they force you into 2 or 3.
Yep.
And that's the danger. Like right now, Clancy Grandy does not want to see a blank end. And that might dictate that she plays a little aggressively here. And she's tended towards the aggressive anyway.
Absolutely.
Raphaela Keiser would love a blank end, but you have to be aware that that other team might give you an opportunity to score 2 or 3 here, and that's probably just as good or better. They've been looking for the freeze there. They left a little bit of gap in between those 2 stones. Looks like they're opting for the tick on the guard. I think the first discussion was, would you just like to double out the 2 that are in the rings? You could play straight pick, and if you clip the yellow and get the double, that's fine. You can't kill the guard. This is free. The 5-rock free guard zone is in effect here in this event.
Alina Lorcher with a nice job. Moved it over a little bit.
Gets it off the center line.
Still guarding the edge of the 4-foot, but good shot.
Just looking at clarification from the hack end, whether she wanted it on center or perhaps lined up to the 2 stones in the rings.
Sean, we just got a nice compliment in the chat room, JBK channel. Thank you very much for your kind words.
I wasn't watching both of the streams. I just got a note from one of our producers, Jerry Gertz, that we had a shot on screen of Victor Schell. Been Jennifer Jones's coach for the last 3 years. He's the head of the Swiss curling high performance program right now, and I believe he used to play out of Sweden himself. Runs the guard, does take the 2 out of the rings as well. Loses her own stone. That won't bother her that much. Clancy Grandy looking for another center guard right now.
Probably with a bit of separation, she really wants to stay out of that double peel. Or if the double peel is made, she wants to leave that yellow as a center guard to keep that force alive.
Probably wanted to cover the rock in the rings, leaving that much angle.
Yep.
Chance to get them both, even with the separation.
Yep. And roll that shooter away.
Still on second stones. If we were later in the end, you might even see the Keiser team come through the port and just make a shot on shot rock directly. But for now, more worried about the guard. Stone on the 12-foot doesn't worry them a lot. Needs to come up a little bit if she's going to catch that stone at the top of the rings. We'll drive it by.
We'll try and make a better one now. Even still, with that other red guard over guarding the edge of the 4-foot, I think that's going to give Clancy Grandy an opportunity at a draw later to still achieve the force. But at some point, Raphaela may choose to beat her to that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's that game of cat and mouse we talked about a little bit earlier. Who blinks first? If you're Raphaela Keiser and you know that there's not going to be a chance to blank this end, at some point in the end, you're going to turn around and try to get 2.
Sean, I may have just said Keiser again.
I'll be honest. If you did, I missed it.
I'm blaming Jerry Gertz.
That's always been my policy. Doesn't even have to have anything to do with him. They got the line better this time. It has come in a little bit tighter, so still maybe a chance to get the double.
They'd really love is to make the double and come over off that other yellow. And
oh, I was looking at that. You're so greedy.
You
want the double and come and nudge that one into the rings.
Well, didn't get either. Bit of a miss.
Is this the last guard we're going to see?
The dog is still having a great time. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Pressures were close to this one all the way down. They've switched, so they must think they need to bring it a little bit. Needs some curl as well. Well, they've left the port. 3 stones left for the Keiser team. I was wondering if this would be the one where they might come around.
So was I, and I am a little surprised because they're in danger of not getting the blank anyway.
I'm surprised they didn't discuss the options at least, because I think that was probably the last guard. Like for Clancy Grandy, if you throw another guard, you know they're coming around. I think that indication she's looking at whether or not she thinks she can touch her own up, play the tap, and have the shooter in the rings as well. tough to come around it when it's in the 12 foot. You could look at coming wide around on the in-turn side.
Right. Yes.
The worry there for the Grandy team might be that if you draw just to the edge of the 4 foot coming wide around the in-turn side, you could leave a double.
Nice thing about the tap is if Selena makes the double, she won't be in the rings. At least not with a nose double anyway.
Needs to be close to the nose, wants to keep her shooter in front of the stone she's tapping back.
Very nice.
Dead straight back. It is absolutely buried by that stone she just threw on the corner of the button. Not really much choice for the Keiser team but to try the double. She can't really draw to much of anything there.
Job done so far.
Yeah, it took away the opportunity for the Keiser team to switch gears on them.
Now, does Clancy prefer the force or the steel?
Honestly, if I'm in Clancy Grandy's shoes right now, all I want to see is 1 point go on the board either way.
Yeah.
The blank is the only thing that she really doesn't want to see. And that could be a problem if for instance, you look at what the Keiser team's looking at. They're looking at the double and can they roll into the rings? And if they roll into the rings and you're Clancy Grandy, are you prepared to ignore that stone and come around? Because if you hit the rock in the rings, it could be a blank.
Right now, I'm thinking you do ignore it.
Well, she's been so aggressive and so good with the draws. My tendency would be to think that that's what she's going to do. Ignore it and try to bury one. See if you can get a force.
Meantime, the double and roll in is a tough shot, but she's going to take a crack at it here. I think you're right, Sean. Selinovic Conke.
Got to be fairly close to the nose on the first one. This has got to come up a little bit. She's going to make the hit. The shooter might end up in the rings, but not going to make contact with the second one. Gets a little bit of a spin in at the end. Make sure it's in. Well, what do you like now if you're Clancy Grandy? Straight guard, or do you want to bring this in, kind of Christmas tree them and make sure you're sitting two?
Or just straight come around the corner, right?
You could. That leaves an open hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Well, again, may depend which one you prefer, the steel or the force. You're going to be short of the rings here? Is that what they looked at?
That's what I'm not sure about. I didn't see them indicate, and that's what I was trying to put you on the spot first. You want this up front, or do you want to come a piece behind the guard? And you can essentially get a guard if you Christmas tree them, and that way you can eliminate that biter. Straight guard is the call.
Bit over curling? Nope.
Not if it stops in time.
Nope. Oh, great shot. That's a nice guard.
Well, decision time for Keiser and Wichonki. Do you play a gentle little try to tap it, or do you come off that yellow guard? If you make it, it's for 2. If you don't make it, you're tied up with coming home.
Yep. I like it, Sean. I don't think there's any 2 going after the rock in the 4-foot.
No, you might be able to draw there cold and put it on the corner of the pin, or just rub off the red, but it's only for 1.
I think that's what they're gonna do. Is you're skinny.
Yeah.
Quarter of a rock, is it, or less?
Less, I think. I think less than a quarter. I think there's 3 players that look to be sold on this, and 1 player keeps talking about drawing. So I think they've settled on playing the redirect onto that shot in the button area, coming off their own. It's a very thin hit, steep roll, so they're playing the in turn. You'll get a little bit of a steeper roll with that than you would with the out. Really, the thing about a shot like this, because you're hitting the first one so thin, you don't even have to whip it, because you're going to carry a lot of the weight through on your shooter.
Right.
So it's not like she has to come out of her comfort zone to throw this shot. It is a tough angle.
She could even lose the other one and end up with 1 if she made the redirect perfect.
That blank's not impossible. On the sweep, she's close. This might be a little thick.
A little full.
Comes across the top of the stone in the 4-foot, and it'll be a steal of 1. So after 7 ends of play, we're all tied up 4 apiece. It'll be the Keiser team with last rock coming home.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Sean Joyce and Steve Robert with you here. A-qualifier action from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current. We've been treated to an excellent qualifying match here. If there has been any trouble for either of the teams, and I would argue you could make the case for both of them, it's been finding the perfect line on their hits so far. And there's another case of it on that last stone for Selena Wichonki, needing a thin redirect. Could have been for 2, catches that last one just a little bit thick, comes across the top. And those are so tough when you're playing in the 6th end or 7th end and a rock out in the wings like that. They probably haven't played a hit in that direction yet this weekend. Not that far out in the weeds.
Sean, this has been a blast, and I've really enjoyed doing this with you, and I'm looking forward to this 8th end. Pretty close on the tick here, I think.
She made a nice tick in the 7th end with her 2nd stone. Makes a nice one here in the 8th. And did she get the little bit of a bonus? No, might have spun out the back of the rings.
Might have spun out. Not sure. I think
There's a good look at it. does appear to be out. Not that you're necessarily hoping to stay on that, but if you catch that little biter, sometimes that's the rock that means you don't have to stay on your last one.
Yep. Sarah Loken with her second.
And not just playing that to an area either, looking very specifically at how deep they wanted it, knowing that the tick is coming and hoping that if she does make it, she pushes it into the other red stone, and then you've at least got a bit of 4-foot underguards.
That is a fantastic lesson for the young curlers watching. If that first tick is made a little bit like that, where does that second center guard go, where that first one is still a problem?
And you saw Clancy Grandy as they were directing traffic at the end, pointing to where she wanted that rock to stop.
Yep. And there you go. Covered that second one, just covered a little bit more of the 4-foot. So that had value, that positioning.
Yeah. Now, kind of decision time here. Do you start creeping the guards toward the center line, knowing that you'll leave some angle and they're going to try double peels? Or are you content to line the guards up? And with where she tapped the ice, I think she's going to try to creep over towards the middle here. Definitely wanted this really high. It's going to slide a lot deeper than they would have liked, so now trying to bring it in so that the double peel's hard to play as a slash. It's probably still there as a slash. Could just straight peel the center one as well, and I think that's what they've opted for.
Yeah, so that's a good spot.
Concern if you played the slash double now with them being that tight together, if you hit the first one a little thin, you could actually drive it into the second one and spin it into the rings, and it becomes a guardable stone. So just make a straight peel on the center line one. And now Clancy Grandy thinking about where can we put rocks that makes things a little confusing. Just looked at throwing a second corner guard on the other side. Now looking at lining the guards up. This is what I talked about on the last one. I think they've opted to continue to go to the center line now.
Looks that way.
Maybe just fully on the broom side of center. And you're hoping that when they try the double peel, they stuff something and spin it a little closer to the center line for you. Okay, I think I can hear them enough to know that I think what Clancy wants to do is guard the red stone that's already there. And from the hack end, Lindsay didn't think that was enough ice. Once again, they need this guard to be long. This one's curling plenty as well. Not going to guard the existing guard. Going to slide a little deep again. They might take a run at the double peel now.
Take a crack at it now for sure.
Yeah, there's plenty of room to go over the top this time.
A little bit of danger with the double peel, but
as long as you're over the top, you're okay. The danger is if you're anything on if you hit the second stone on the center line side, you've got another one back there you could jam on as well and bring something back in the middle, as long as you're thin on this first one. And if you drive it past both of the other two red ones, so be it. Just can't hit it thick. She's certainly not light, got the big weight here. Clips it and does just drive it by both of the other two stones, but no harm, no foul. That's the way you have to miss it. You don't take any chance of jamming anything into the rings if you drive it over the top. Clancy Grandy again looking to guard the stone that's already out there. Looking to basically double guard. Taking a little bit more ice again. As much as the broom location, though, they need to take a little bit more off the weight. One of the things here when you're trying to throw a long guard, you do have to tighten up the broom a little bit because that rock's got 6 or 8 feet less time to curl. And the last couple of attempts have slid deeper than they wanted to, and that will cause the over curl for you as well. You've iced for a long guard. You can't throw it halfway. Brushes are close, but they haven't really laid a brush to it yet.
That's nice.
Better line, but again, slides too deep.
Too deep, yeah, you're right. I thought it was stopping.
It's left another chance for the double peel.
And if they don't make the double peel this time, I think Kayla is going to go around that corner on Weiss's second. And we'll see what happens here.
Now let's be a little bit thin.
Do they go around now? So that no, they aren't.
I wouldn't play this either, though.
Yeah, I thought they might go around. Then Keiser peels. Then Grandy can go back to a center guard, and then they have to make a decision whether take off the center guard or hit the rock in the house.
Yeah, they're gonna. In that case, they're gonna hit the center guard towards the rock in the house. This I don't like, other than I get that they've missed the other guard now 3 times and they're fortunate that it hasn't been double peeled yet. By playing this, you know you're going to have something to come around on your first one. It's just, you've got a piece of the forefoot covered now. If this one doesn't cover more of the forefoot, they're just going to go peel the other guard and you're working with a worse guard.
Right.
Like the best you can do here is have the same quality of guard off this one as the other one. If it's any better, they're going to peel it. If it's worse, they're going to go peel the other one. Boy, and if you slide into the rings, they're going to hit and stay. Well, decent awareness there by the brushers that was going to come in. They get it behind the tee line.
Yes.
And that's important because now the Swiss team might be less inclined to stay. Certainly not going to want to stay right there anyway. You leave that in front of the tee line and you might see them play a nose hit here. And now your guard's no good. Makes the hit, rolls just enough to the outside that the freeze on it. It's going to leave you the entire forefoot. Does mean the come around would be shot rock, though.
So, Sean, if Clancy makes this good, is Raphaela going to peel or run back?
I think she's going to draw.
On her
You're
first?
drawing on. You're drawing on the last one.
I only gave you two choices, Sean. You took a third.
I think you'll see her follow it down, try to sit on the corner, and
Have a practice draw at least.
it's the practice draw at least. You know that the entire intern side's likely open on your last one. If you make a good one on your first one, you might not have to throw the last one. Little wobble there from Clancy Grandy. Nice line coming by. They'd like to put this just in front of the tee line if they could. Well, you couldn't have walked it down there any better. It has made the draw as difficult as it could. Did leave a piece of it available.
Yeah, there's only...
You could play like a back liner at it if you clip the guard. It's not the end of the world.
Looks like almost half available from the hack.
I'm guessing you usually play lead or second.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's like when they holler down to the other end and they say, "How much can you see?" "Oh, you got half, easy."
Got all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm used to hearing from the guy that doesn't throw the last rock.
That's right.
That's a thin side of a half.
Well, whatever happens here, Clancy is going to have something.
Working hard on the brush to get by that guard. When they realize they're not going to get by, they call the brush off, make sure they hit it thick enough to get it out of the way.
Now, where do you put this? Do you go into the 4-foot somewhere? Top. Same place on the other side?
No, I don't like same place on the other side. Then you let her choose whether she wants to hit or draw. You either go.
That's what I mean. One that's the right height where she can't hit.
Well, she can always hit. She can always hit and roll in if you put it at the corner of the 4-foot. I'm thinking if you put it right on the center line, half in the 4-foot, she's got to choose whether she's hitting or drawing, and the draw is tough. Or you guard that stone. There's nothing wrong with guarding it, making her drop before. With that ice, it looks like it. Although
guarding the center line half of it.
Most of the end playing the guard. Well,
or 3/4 of it.
I think if you're guarding it, you straight guard it. If you leave her half, she's drawing anyway. If you leave her 3/4, you've made it too easy. It is curious to me, and it looks like she's going to make this shot, but all end long trying to guard another guard in that position, they played the other turn.
Right.
And now when she needs to guard that spot with her last one, she goes to the in-turn. She did just throw it for the come around.
Right. It's a good shot.
Best she could do, there was always going to be a shot here for Selena, and you've left her needing full 4-foot.
Selena Wichonke for a draw for the win to the full 4-foot.
She has not thrown a lot of draws today, but she has been good when she's needed them.
Excuse me.
Needs full forefoot with her final stone here in the 8th end to pick up the win, move on to the championship round on Sunday. Brushers picked this one up early. Off and on. It's going to be all up to the Brushers here. There's no line to watch. They've backed away now. Did they overcook this one a little bit early? Coming into that T-line area. And it is going to slide a little bit too far. It's going to be a steal of one. Clancy Grandy steals the victory here in this A qualifying matchup, and she will move on to the championship round on Sunday. The Keiser team controlling most of the game falls here at the end, and they will drop down to the B event where they will continue play tomorrow, looking for one of the remaining playoff spots. Well, certainly an entertaining A qualifier for us, and we hope that all of those of you watching at home enjoyed it as well.
That was a great curling match, Sean. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.
And for those of you watching as well, you can catch all of the action. The next draw starts at 8:30 p.m. here in Saskatchewan time. Action on all day tomorrow as well. And then the playoffs are on Sunday. We want to thank you for joining us tonight on behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, and my partner in tonight's broadcast, Steve Robert. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you back here for the other A qualifier at 8:30.